Welcome to the Bigger Room Podcast. I'm your host, Mel Cobian.
And I'm Jill Bender, and today we're going to talk to you about the 8 rules for making your first 6 figures.
Make sure you guys stick around until the last one because that's my absolute favorite.
So there's really 3 methods to making a bunch of money. You can take the fast route, which means you're going to be having the highest risk factor. You're probably going to be investing tons and tons of money and possibly losing tons of money. You take the average method, which is a little lower risk, but it's going to take you a bit longer to get there. And then we have the slow method. Slow method, you're not taking any chances on anything. And over time, stuff will grow that you've invested into, but it will grow at a very slow rate. An example of that would be if you were going to buy some real estate. You're probably not going to have a big turnaround right then. But over time, housing goes up in price and it will eventually be your moneymaker. So let's get into it. These are for the fast method because who wants to listen to the average or slow method? You're probably not going to stick around for that one. Rule number 1, say yes to everything. If there is an opportunity being presented to you, jump on it. You say yes. You don't think about it. You don't think, I don't really know. That sounds like a lot of work. I don't know. That sounds like, maybe that one's boring to you, or you just don't want to make the time to take that extra step. Say yes, take the extra step, go the extra mile. And later, down the road, once you have everything established, once things are really happening for you, then you could be a little bit more selective, and you'll probably have to start saying no to things at that point because you just won't have enough time. Number 2, follow one religion. And we say this a lot. It is you're finding one method and you need to stick with it. You need to make it work. You can't be jumping around. If you're jumping around, you're really never going to get there because nothing has time to develop. Nothing has time to mature. You really want to grab the one thing, make it your thing, and just freaking master the hell out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that kind of builds off of also saying yes to everything. Don't be afraid to try something new, but you just have to give it that time to, it's like a plant. You don't give up on it once it dies. You figure out the nutrients, you figure out the water, put it out in the sun and stick with it. And then the reward is beautiful. It's going to grow into this beautiful thing. So say yes to everything, but also give it the time for it to reward you.
Absolutely. Number 3 is master leverage. So you want the right sales team, you want the right funnel, you want the right people and tools. Tools are the most important thing that you're going to have, and those are the things that you can actually obtain. Some of them, a lot of them, you can obtain them for free. If you're just looking for the tools to get started, you can grab a lot of that stuff for free online. And talk to others, ask them how did they do it. So you want to reach out to people that are where you want to be and learn their fast track methods instead of you just trying out everything, doing it by yourself.
It's funny, Joe. I actually have this sticky note. You know me and my sticky notes and my motivational stuff. I actually have some feedback with leveraging and delegating. So I have a lot of to-do lists, and something new that I'm implementing in my life is that task really for me, or can I delegate? And if you can't delegate, how can you do it without being reactive? How do you do it from a place of love? So I think it's just a good reminder that there are going to be things that you yourself have to do. So conserve your energy and delegate everything else because you just can't wear too many hats. You're going to burn out. That's how you burn out.
Yeah. And one of my mentors had said, or maybe it's one of the books I had read, they said, figure out which piece you don't like doing. What part of the task that you want to be doing them all. You kind of need to know how to do them. But if there's one that you're just like, God, I hate doing this part, that's the one you should get rid of first. This is going to help you not burn out. It's going to keep you motivated. You get to work on the stuff that's more fun for you. and that you want to actually put the energy into.
Yeah, that goes for like household chores too. If you have a kid or a significant other, maybe somebody enjoys washing the dishes more than the other. Just delegate everything in your life.
Or cooking when you're a couple. Yeah, one person usually likes it a lot more than the other person. Hopefully.
Yeah, delegate. Hopefully. I was saying maybe those are some questions you should go like like if you go on a date with somebody, like things I don't like to do. Let me find somebody who likes to do the things I don't, and then go on a second date.
Yeah, right in the middle of dinner. So, do you like to cook? And if they say no, and then your thought is me neither, probably not the person for you. Number 4, credit. You want a high credit score. Now you're probably either starting to sweat or panic even, but I'm not really talking about having good credit. Like we think of credit with your credit score and, that has to do with your money, but have good credit for yourself. Meaning if you say you're going to show up or you're going to do something, then make sure you do that. Even do it better than they expected, like over deliver. And so if somebody says, or if you say, yeah, you know what, I'll send this over to you. Let me get it right for you or whatever. And then you never send it. You just lost so much credibility with that person. And if you did it with one, you probably will be doing it with a lot because that is how you are treating your business. And that is not going to get you anywhere. It's probably going to hurt your business down the road as more people see your reputation as she never shows up. She always promises, never does it. So keep your credit score high. Number 5, specialize first, generalize later. This goes back to picking one religion. You pick one product, one niche, one market, and you master it. And you don't stop until you get the results that you need. After you get to where you are, then you can kind of dabble in some other areas or add another aspect into your business, but be the master of one, not all.
Yeah. Especially if you're trying to solve a problem. I think when you're passionate about something, you want to solve all the problems. But at the same time, first of all, again, that's one way to burn out. You can't solve everything. And you can get there by, again, first establishing that one problem that you can solve. And then, right, you can probably start meeting people that can help you in certain areas and you can expand and now you can solve multiple problems. But first be that master of that one solution and then everything else will fall in place. Because what happens is, and I think we talked about this in a previous episode, is every 6 months, you kind of become a new person. You might have a new passion to solve a different problem. But at the end of the day, there's always going to be one thing that you're known for. So focus on what that's going to be for you.
Yeah, they need to know who they're going to go to. Like, oh, you know what? Yeah. This is what I want. I know exactly who knows a lot about that. Once you're the master of it and then you learn to leverage, then you open up more time and then you can start getting other things in, like us adding in the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're still learning.
Yes, we are. Okay, number 6, don't wait for people to come to you. You go to them. So what does that mean with digital marketing? Like back in the day with the sales team, so you think about old school sales. You're knocking on doors, you're making phone call after phone call after phone call. In the digital age, if you're making phone calls, you're definitely, actually, you probably listened to that podcast. Yes, I just heard it on the Don't Say That podcast, where the FTC actually doesn't like if you're making phone calls. So keep that out of your business. But so what does it mean for you? It means that you want to start reaching out to people by grabbing their attention, showing up in more stories, creating more reels, showing up on other platforms even. Get your face out there so people know who you are and they know what you're offering. It goes back to, again, that one religion. They want to know who's going to take care of this. Oh, wait, Jill knows everything about this. I've seen her a million times. She keeps popping up all over the place. So that is the equivalent of what I think reaching out to people and going and finding people. You're not actually finding them, but you're putting yourself out there so they can find you.
It reminds me of when people come and knock on your door and they try to sell you stuff. We're kind of past that type of marketing. So I think what we're trying to tell people is keep showing up as your authentic self and continue to let people know the solutions that you have for them, whatever that may be. And that way, when people are looking for that solution, you're the person that comes up. Because if you're jumping around and not sticking to that one religion, they're not going to know exactly when to come to you because you're all over the place. That's just consumer mindset.
All right, number 8. I think Mel will like this one. Number 8 is remove negative distractions. Negative distraction that I would think that you would really like is having something messy.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Oh, I could talk about that for an hour straight, about negativity. So everything is energy, absolutely everything. And whether you think about it or not, things affect you. It could be your surrounding. It could be what people say. The only thing you can control is how you react to it if you give it that permission. So it really does start with how you react to things. If something is bothering you, how can you shift your energy to be what learning lesson can you take from that experience? And at the same time, that might also mean that you have to remove yourself from certain situations. You might have to remove yourself. I know for a lot of people, like if they're studying for something, when I used to live at my parents' house and I was a freshman in college, I had to physically go back to school after work so that I could be away from family, so that I could actually focus because of the toxic household. So sometimes you have to be the one to remove yourself from maybe a circle of friends, maybe from a relationship. It can be a tough one for a lot of people, I think. And the only way you'll know if you are letting negativity, distract you from taking action is if you're not happy. It really does come to that, down to that.
So one of the things that you can do besides just removing it, like Mel's saying, is to add more positivity, to add more positive distractions into your life. So your family and your kids, they should be a positive, your immediate family, your extended family, but
yeah.
The person that you decided to be with, that you live with, your household, they should be, positive distractions for you. Increasing that, another positive distraction would be reading a book, sitting down to just read a book. It's taking you away from maybe what you like as an entrepreneur. It's taking up time that you could be working on your business, but it's a positive distraction. Your mind is working now and it's learning something, even with a fiction book, and it's a positive distraction. So increasing positive distractions is just automatically going to start pushing out those negative distractions.
Yeah, so I go for my walks, and after my walks, I am just super excited. I'm super pumped up, and it has a positive effect on the rest of my day. Listening to certain music also shifts me into just a better energy, and I'm super excited. Or if I'm actually playing music, I'm over here knocking out some emails or knocking out some stuff that I need to do. And so whatever helps you shift back into that positive output, figure out what that is for you.
Yeah.
So that's why this is our favorite one, guys, because what you do and how you shift your energy to be more positive and have those positive distractions will change the rest of your day. What do you think about that, Joe?
Yeah, that one's my favorite also because I do have a kid, and I've said it before on this podcast that I feel so lucky to have him, but there are some times that he definitely interrupts the flow of my day. And I could be on a roll, recording content. And then I look at the clock and I got to go pick him up now from school because school's over, and it has nothing to do with him. It's just, it sort of interrupted the flow of what I was working on. But it's a positive distraction still. It is something that improves my life, makes me happy, and keeps me going every day. With that being said, we're so excited that you allowed us to be your positive distraction today, and we hope we are every Tuesday.
Yes, make sure you guys subscribe so you get our weekly episodes, and make sure to leave us a review if you're enjoying our episodes so far.
Thank you so much for joining us today on the Bigger Room Podcast.